why it's working fine, you know.
If it wants.
So do you ever think much about Madalyn O'Hare anymore?
Every once in a while, not too much.
I guess when she got...
I just wish the hell things, you know...
She just got killed and that was, you know... So do you... Okay, again, do you think she was going to make off with the money like they said?
No.
You don't think so?
No. The cause was the important thing to her.
I don't think so. Not the way she was doing it.
Somebody... Now, the gold was never recovered, right? The gold was never found, right?
I don't remember.
She had it supposedly in a storage locker, and what they say is that somebody stole it out of the storage locker. But I don't know.
Unless they melted it somewhere, I can't imagine why it wouldn't have been.
But the guys that actually were convicted of killing her, they never found the money. There's what, 3 guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's 3 guys that were convicted. I'm not sure if they were all, I don't know if they were all the same sentence or whatnot. But
I don't remember their names.
But as far as I
It
know,
was Terry something or another.
that's what they said. They killed her for the gold.
Yeah.
Because supposedly what it was is she was going to make off to New Zealand or Australia or somewhere and start a new life. And that's why they claimed they got the gold from her. But then they claimed they put it in a storage locker and then it was stolen. That's the last that I heard of it. But you know, you don't, ever since she's gone there, you don't hear anything about American Atheists. I mean,
Yeah, she was it. We moved to Parsippany, New Jersey. And,
do you hear anything that they do?
no. The problem is that the only way they can make news is to file some lawsuit and do something dramatic. And that's not necessarily what really the goal or full comprehension of atheism would be about or should be about. Because it's, you know, it's just getting away from the supernatural. And that gets lost, you know, and the media, they just want to see a battle. That's all they care about. That's the only thing that gets attention. So, and if you're filing lawsuits to get it, well, it looks to me like the school prayer thing was, that was a winner. But since then, with the Supreme Court being chosen by all these...
But that was in, what, 69 or something?
Yeah, no, 63.
63?
Yeah.
But
it was a battle for decades after that just to make sure it stayed, you know, and or stuck. And after that...
Nothing much happened.
Yeah, you know, there was tantalizing promises of, well, taking in God we trust off the motto and out of the Pledge of Allegiance under God and that sort of stuff. But, well, like in last year or so, Michael Newdow as an individual tried to fight that and lost. So, it looks like the Supreme Court wants to go so far and then no farther. You know, I mean, it's not a matter of principle. They just they don't want to do any more than that was enough. School prayer and that was enough for them.
Keep it out of school. Other than that, forget it.
Yeah.
What a beautiful.
I was reading about some sociological surveys showing that people are becoming increasingly less religious.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know anybody that...
And that's kind of been my sense,
Yeah.
too, you know, just kind of anecdotal in my experience, you know, people don't take it as seriously as once, you know. Like,
Right.
When I was a kid, it was, you know, much more...
Oh, yeah.
much more, you know. But again, if you're in certain areas like small town Texas,
Yeah.
small town, you know, Kansas, and yeah, okay, yeah, they still take it seriously, and you know.
But the population as a whole is more urban as a percentage of the total population. So that small town effect isn't as great as it once was,
Right.
but it still is.
It almost seems to me that it's less of a philosophical thing and something you believe in, as it is more or less a cultural thing that you sort of. Well, it's always been cultural, right? Religion has always been cultural, and that's what I think. That's where I think Madalyn missed it in a sense, because, and, you know, bless her heart, you know, maybe lawsuits are the only way, but you know, the real way to get that message across was to say it's cultural. And because if you can get someone to admit that it's cultural, then that's it. Then that's all you need. Then it's basically over at that point, because cultures change. Time goes on, cultures change. They evolve. And so,
yeah, one of the problems I had was trying to make a sort of a movement out of it, and a popular one. And things like bumper stickers are, I thought, a big part of that, and
bumper stickers?
Yeah, things like that, messages, basically messages to get out there that, get it, not sound bites, but things that.
So what, the message would increase understanding, or what would the message?
Yeah, generally, yeah. Oh, and also support, and just.
So do you think that worked, or it didn't work?
No, well, part of the problem was that she didn't go for it too much, really. She didn't like.
She kind of wanted to be the center of attention.
Yeah, that was part of it. I think so. And,
I saw a great one with the Egyptian god Re.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, the comment was at one point, and I forget who it was. It might have been Joseph Campbell. Anyway, the comment is that Re at one point was the premier god in the world.
Yeah, or Ra.
Yeah. Re, the Egyptian sun god.
Mm-hmm.
And now, that god is relegated to crossword puzzles. R.A., it's in a lot of crossword puzzles. And so, if you think about it, at one point, then...
yeah, I guess I could put this
Ra, or Re, was the premier god, and then was gone. And if you look at that and understand that, then you think that it's like all of it will be that way. So that 1,000 years from now, the religions that are present currently will be either modified or non-existent.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah. We have soy sauce?
Well, we have the okra that's going to go on top.
Go on top. Okay.
And if you want soy sauce, you could add it, because it might need some salt. So what were you talking about? The guy from Ra?
The god Re there, or Ra, the Egyptian god, is no longer. At one point it was the leading god in the world.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the Maya gods, like Chakmu, they're all gone too. They're relegated to tourist souvenirs, You go to Chichen Itza in Yucatan, and you can buy little souvenirs with the ancient gods on them.
Do any of the native Mayans, any of them?
They don't. Not that I can tell. They still have what they call the old counselors, the Maya leaders, but nobody pays them any attention. At least the Maya that I know. And some places they mean. Now the politicians, they kind of, once a year they curry favor to them, thinking that they're leaders. But actually, as to them carrying the power, I don't see that. I don't see that.
I think the Catholic Church more or less took over, because I see scenes of the Mayans in Guatemala.
Most of the Mayans are Catholic for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Wow.
That is really good.
It's a Maya dish called okra.